Mercedes is making a lot of noise about the competitor's flexible rear wing, but Red Bull Racing pointed back. Mercedes are said to have a flexible front wing, and footage shows that this is indeed the case. After the Spanish Grand Prix, a storm started about the rear wing of the RB16B of Max Verstappen. Lewis Hamilton claimed that the rear wing moved a lot, and also Toto Wolff couldn't keep his mouth shut about it. The FIA then stated that new tests would be held to test the flexible rear wing. This will only be possible from the French Grand Prix onwards because teams need to adapt the rear wing first. This is against the wishes of Mercedes, who are losing ground to the competition. Wolff made it clear that a protest will follow if Red Bull shows up in Azerbaijan with this rear wing. Helmut Marko doesn't believe these threats and even pointed at Mercedes. According to Marko, Mercedes is not allowed to say anything. Where Red Bull has a flexible rear wing that passes a test, the same can be said of Mercedes' front wing. Pictures from the Portuguese Grand Prix show that the Mercedes front wing moves much more than allowed. Marko is right in saying that new tests will have to be done for this, so Wolff can protest, but if he does, he can also expect a protest back. Marko, however, did not expect it to come to that. Andreas Seidel has delivered a two-pronged plan in an attempt to finally get Daniel Ricciardo settled at McLaren following a difficult start to his time with the team. Ricciardo endured what was his most troubled race weekend to date in Monaco, as he was initially outqualified by over half a second by teammate Lando Norris. In the race, Ricciardo was unfortunately lapped by Norris at one stage en route to finishing in the position he had started, which was 12th. It left Ricciardo perplexed as to how he could be so far off Norris's pace, ultimately declaring the weekend as one to forget. Seidel knows the issue as Ricciardo's driving style has yet to marry itself to the MCL35M, and now it is about executing a strategy to overcome that. We are all not happy, let's say, that he cannot match what Lando is extracting out of the car at the moment. But the reason for that is our car simply needs a certain way of driving at the moment in order to extract the performance that Lando can extract, and it simply doesn't feel natural for Daniel yet to do that. Describing the steps that will be taken, Seidel added, "What we have to do as a team and together with Daniel are two things. One is obviously to keep analyzing data, learn from it, and use it as a reset for Daniel in terms of his driving style. At the same time, we also look at the team side, what we can do with the car, with the setup in order to help him so that it feels a bit more natural for him driving our car quick." Red Bull's Dr. Helmut Marko has refused to rule out launching a counter-protest against championship rival Mercedes. The 79-year-old Austrian says his countryman Toto Wolff is being unreasonable in criticizing the FIA for giving Red Bull and other teams until after Baku to make modifications to the allegedly bendy rear wings. Wolff is threatening to launch a protest if Red Bull runs the offending wing at Baku, but Marko says the Mercedes boss is being unfair. We did that last year when Mercedes came out of the box with the DAS system. The FIA declared it was illegal, but they were still allowed to use it until the last race. We accepted that, so why does Mercedes not accept that it is done the same way with a rear wing? Therefore, Marko warns that if Wolff wants to play the protest game, Red Bull will follow suit. We expect that the tests for the front wing will also be tightened. That's only fair. The front wing of Toto's car is the most obvious in this way, so there is also the potential for protest from us. However, Marko thinks Wolff is actually unlikely to push the protest button in Baku. And that's been it for this video. If you enjoyed this video, then make sure to leave a like and don't forget to subscribe. Apart from that, I hope you have an awesome day, and bye bye.